Hello everyone, and welcome back to week 2 of the HDA. I, of course, am JJ, the manager of the CC Skarmory, and we are going to be doing a little bit of a pre-match preview here, going into week number 2 of the HDA season. A quick recap of week number 1, we claimed a 2-0 victory over Nick and the Trash Like Trubbishes. As you can see from the scores, Metagross absolutely justifying his priority in my draft order, claiming 4 KOs over 2 games while not being KO'd. Of course, notably, Nick's team featured Sylveon as their first overall pick. So Metagross, a really key piece in shutting that Pokemon down. He also featured Medicham, Chandelure, and, well, Mega Chandelure, and Steelix, which was very, very useful for Simipour to come to the matchup, who originally was not even in our matchup prep, but really was able to pay dividends, providing fake-out support, providing rain, providing scald damage into both of my opponent's Mega Evolutions. Samurott came to game 1 and would have claimed a KO were it not for Steelix's sturdy ability. Arcanine just provided good damage throughout the game, except for when it whiffed Head Smash on the opening turn of the season. Dragonite came in game 2 as a pivot from Samurott. I was expecting my opponent to counterplay that a little bit more, and so I just wanted Dragonite to apply a little bit more general pressure. But ultimately, we were able to mop up the game with a mixture of priority spam and just playing to our type charts and playing to our type advantages against Nick's team. And as you can see as well from the standings, we are at the top end of our conference. Top 8 will advance to playoffs, and while this isn't necessarily an indicator of how our season is going to go, claiming a 2-0 victory put us towards the top along the likes of defending league champion Andrew Walter, AJ Morton, who is a 2-time Day 2 finisher in Regulation MA, as well as Blake Mullins, who is all around just a kill guy, as well as Abigail Wynn, who most notably took Floette Mega with the first overall pick. Looking ahead to this week, Matthew is going to be trying to claim his first victory on the season with the Hamilton County Heracross. They battled to a 1-2 loss last week, as you can see. Pidgeot putting in a fair bit of work for his team, as well as the base form Scizor. Basculegion, most notably the main member of the team. It's an absolute menace. I absolutely expect to see it this week. Last Respects, Wave Crash, coverage moves like Psychic Fangs and Ice Fang could be quite a problem. Sableye, as we all know, thanks to Aaron Cybertron Zhang, is an absolutely atrociously disruptive Pokemon. Prankster Light Screen and Reflect, Encore Disable, Fake Out Will-O-Wisp, you name it, if it's annoying, Sableye can do it. Bellibolt is another Pokemon that, while Matthew didn't bring it in week 1, I'm really concerned about it since we don't have a ground type, and it's just an obnoxiously bulky Pokemon that's really hard to remove from the field. Alakazam is a little bit of a wild card as well. It gets a really, really deep move pool of very interesting things like Speed Swap, which could be used on something like the Diggersby or the Bellibolt to give them a massive speed advantage. Pidgeot being the solo Mega on this team, I think, is a very, very interesting one in terms of draft priorities. It looks like Matthew really prioritized just getting good Pokemon rather than focusing on having big Mega Evolutions. But, of course, it's not to be underestimated. It does have 100% accurate Hurricanes thanks to that no guard, and it's certainly no slouch in the offensive department. Diggersby, of course, with huge power can also be a bit of a threat. It's really kind of just limited by its typing and its speed tier. And Fortress may be a little bit more of an overlookable Pokemon. Fortress and Scizor, notably both sharing a 4x weakness to fire, is something that we can certainly look to take advantage of this week. And with that, of course, going over our lineup, we're going with a Critical Role name or nickname theme this week, rather. So hopefully that will go appreciated. Dragonite switching to a more sun-oriented moveset this week, featuring the Heat Wave as well as the Sunny Day. It's going to be able to really limit the early game damage output of the Basculegion with the Sunny Day, as well as giving us extra tools into both of those Bug and Steel types if they make an appearance. Also, most notably, Heat Wave is 100% accurate against Pidgeot thanks to no guard, so it's just one more little layer that we can leverage. Very straightforward EV spread with Dragonite having multi-scale upon Mega Evolving. I don't really see a reason to shy away from just Max Modest on this Pokemon, but we will certainly keep that in mind in weeks to come. Mega Phalanx is going to be making its first appearance this week, and we're running a little bit of an interesting set, running Max Defense Impish with Body Press and Iron Defense. Now, there are certainly Pokemon on this team that Phalanx is going to struggle against, but I think that there are certain situations where it can just be an absolute menace in the end game, especially if we can get an Iron Defense up for it safely. It's not going to be the primary game mode, but it will be one that we look to leverage, perhaps as a game 2 adjustment. Arcanine running a very similar set to last week, simply switching Jolly over to Adamant. The reason being, we want Dragonite to outspeed it so we can set Sunny Day to boost Temper Flare's damage even more. And going with Temper Flare, Rock Slide, no Head Smash, since we've switched to Intimidate as the ability, we're also running Will-O-Wisp as another piece of damage mitigation on top of the Intimidate, most of Matt's team being physical attackers. I wanted another ability to limit the damage output of those Pokemon further, while also giving me another DOT element against something like the Belly Bolt. Samurott also running a similar set to last week, most notably dropping Aqua Cutter for Taunt as a tech move to help with Sableye. Night Slash and Sucker Punch are both going to be doing really, really good damage for us, and of course the Sharpness ability is going to help it really tee off against our opponents with Night Slash. Trevenant is here once again, a slightly different set and a very different EV spread. This continues to be the Pokemon I put the most effort into the EVs for, and so hopefully it'll be able to come this week. We've dropped Will-O-Wisp for Leech Seed and are running the Kasib Berry in order to allow this to survive any one Last Respects from Basculegion, unless it's max Adamant with with maximum stacks, I should say. But also running Leech Seed, again, just in case that Belly Bolt decides to sit on the field for forever behind screens, Leech Seed is going to give us consistent damage into it. Trick Room as a form of speed control, and Horn Leech and Poltergeist are just going to be giving us good stab coverage options. And finally, last but not least, Heracross, aka Scanlan this week, is going to be running a supportive Choice Scarf set, Pounce as a form of speed control. For those of you who aren't familiar, it is a base 50 power bug move that lowers the target speed stat by 1 stage. This is going to allow us to double up into Matt's faster Pokemon like Alakazam, Pidgeot, and Choice Scarf Basculegion, and potentially get just a 1-2 knockout combo before they're able to move or affect the field. Also running Knockoff this week just as a way to remove items, particularly from Basculegion, but also from things like the Belly Bolt if it's got leftovers. Brick Break is the fighting option of choice in order to break through screens, and we have Coaching since a large majority of our team is physical attackers. So it just makes sense that Heracross is going to be able to coach them up. 26 Jolly puts us 2 points faster than Jolly Basculegion with Choice Scarf. So more than likely, Heracross will be the fastest Pokemon on the field, unless it's something like Scarf Alakazam from my opponent. I believe I have a DM from him. So cool. He has a rune code for me. Let him know that I am about to hop in. And it is right at 9 o'clock, so perfect. We are right on schedule. I have been shiny hunting the team as well, as you might have noticed with Heracross and Dragonite and Phalanx all being shiny. I'm technically cheating on my own rules because I already had a shiny Mega Phalanx. But currently we are at 5 out of 8 Pokemon being shiny. We still have to do both of the Hisuian Pokemon as well as Trevenant is the one Pokemon that we have yet to get in Legend ZA. But considering how good our early success has been, I'm pretty confident that we'll be able to get all of these by the end of the regular season, which is pretty cool. So we are in the room here. We are going to give it just a minute to see if we get any spectators or if anybody ends up wanting to stream or broadcast the match. I've been certainly doing a lot of casting this week, so I don't really expect anybody to, but it'd be a lot cooler if they did. But maybe somebody just wants to hop in and spectate all the same, so we'll give that just a minute here. Of course, this league is mostly for funsies. Good luck, have fun to my opponent as well. Matt's a chill dude. I've only met him a handful of times. I believe he's relatively new to VGC. So really cool that he's able to take part in this draft league over the summer. Hopefully he'll be able to build on his VGC skill set along the way. And I'm going to do my best to stay hydrated because it's hot outside. And I talk a lot, which certainly doesn't help anything. Okay, we'll just go ahead and jump right into it. We are not using Yard Slop. It is HDA week number 2. I'm just going to personally stick to the Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, or Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire themes. I'm pretty okay with that. But I'm going to go ahead and ready up. And if anybody ends up Right, so we should be getting started here in just a second. Ooh, I almost committed the most ridiculous sin all over again by not being ready to take notes. So going to make sure that I don't make that mistake twice today here. Okie dokie, so we have HDA week 2, Matty Patty. All right. All right. And just in the nick of time, I also caught that I had muted my Switch cap card, so you guys didn't have to listen to that obnoxious lobby music. Okay, so pretty much what I was expecting here. The one Pokemon that I thought could come that I am not seeing was the Diggersby. So we've got Sableye, we've got Caesar, we've got Basculegion, Alakazam, Bellybolt, and Mega Pidgeot. Okay, so I spent half of my time writing down things. Okay, so the initial game plans that I was kind of thinking was like Dragonite plus Arcanine in the lead, perhaps. And I think I may stick with that. I was also, thinking I could just lead Trevenant game 1 to gather information. I think I like that better, so I'm going to do Trevenant, Hisuian Arcanine. Let's see. I think Samu makes a lot of sense, and then either Dragonite or Heracross in the back. I'm going to go with Dragonite for game 1. I got to lock this in. Leave Heracross as a Game 2 adaptation. I think these are probably good Pokemon for this matchup. I don't know about the ordering, but I'm really eager to get Frisk in this matchup, considering that my opponent is mostly all non-Megas. Okay, Basculegion Sableye here in Game 1. This is overall not a bad lead at all. We get Intimidate down. Okay, it's Mental Herb and Scarf. Okay, so Scarf, Mental, Herbaceous. Okay, good to know. Thank you, Trombork. Okay. So the Basculegion could flip turn out. We could be seeing all kinds of really, really annoying things here. It's overall a very fast-paced team. I'm kind of tempted to click Trick Room here, but there is also the potential of like an Encore from the Sableye. I think here I'm just down to Poltergeist and Protect Arcanine this turn. Okay. Protect. Because if he's going to flip turn, I would expect it to be that slot. It's going to be a Quash, actually. Okay. Quash from and flip turn. Okay. Makes sense. Poltergeist is going to come out. Depending on the EVs, this might KO. And it does. So, Oko, so not a bulky Bass whatsoever. Fantastic. Good stuff. I forgot to hit Matt with the good luck, have fun in chat. I am such a douche. Okay, this is the other guy that I was really worried about. So I think what we're gonna do here is just go immediately for the Leech Seed. If he Encores me into Protect, genuinely at this point, that's not the end of the world, but I'm just gonna try to Will-O-Wisp Leech Seed Belly Bolt. It is Encore, okay, so Encore comes out from Sable Guy. We fail the double protect. We get Leech Seed off into Belly Bolt, so that's going to be doing some good residual damage over time. And it's just going to be a Muddy Water. I forgot about Muddy Water Belly Bolt. Okay, that's on me. I should have... I knew about like things like Acid Spray. I should have remembered. Of course, we get the accuracy drop as well, but Leech Seed into Trevenant here is gonna be pretty okay, I think. Yeah, we're gonna go right back up to full HP here. I'm pretty okay with that. I'm gonna Poltergeist the Sableye. I don't even necessarily have to switch. I could just take the Protect turn here and bide some time. We also do have Dragonite in the back, who's certainly not going to be bad. Who do I think my opponent's fourth is? Pidgeot would certainly be a lot more threatening if I lose Arcanine. I'm down to just Protect here, I think. And now that feels too passive. I want to put some pressure on the board. I'm going to bring Dragonite in. So we reveal Dragonite. They disable Leech Seed. Okay. So, no more Leech Seed from Kiki. It's going to be Poltergeist into the Sableye. Wow. Really good damage. 48% from Tree. From Kiki. Thank you, Keyleth. Not very effective into either, but we do get an accuracy drop on Dragonite, which is giga annoying. But we're just going to heal all this damage back, so I'm certainly not too upset by this. I really do not want the last Pokemon to be Pidgeot. That is where I'm at right now. I'm guessing this thing has some sort of recovery berry. It's not Choice Scarf, because otherwise it would be faster than Trevenant, surely. Well, no, it's not Choice Scarf, because we know the Choice Scarf is on the Basculegion. Quash, Encore, Disable. If you're running Mental Herb, I assume you don't have an attacking move. Leech Seed is disabled here. I think I want to Poltergeist, Belly Bolt, Mega Evolve, Dragon Pulse, Sableye. Okay. So, Belly Bolt switches out. The fourth Pokemon is Alakazam. Okay, so Alakazam comes to game 1, Bellybolt comes to game 1. Alakazam is about to have a really bad time. if we connect. Gravity. What? Dragonite falls from the sky. Dragon Pulse comes out. That'll be the end of Diamond Eyes. No Diamond Hands from Sableye in this matchup, although we did learn all the moves. It is Focus Sash on Alakazam, so it's going to go down to Sash. If you are utilizing Gravity here, you're getting 100% accurate Muddy Waters out of this. Surely it's not like Focus Blast, is it? It certainly could be, but wow, man. I think Keyleth can just 1v1 this. It's just going to be a matter of how, what we're able to do here. I'm going to go for a Horn Leech into Alakazam. No need to risk the miss, I think. Alternatively, I think we're still... Are we still disabled for one more turn? We are... Yeah, move disabled for two turns? This is bullshit. I'm just going to go ahead and set Tailwind this turn. I don't think I need to worry about anything crazy. It is just going to be a Psychic here. Ooh, really good damage. Tailwind goes up. Trevenant is going to claim its second KO of the match, though, with Horn Leech. Alakazam goes down. We get 1 hit point. 1 hit point. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. And it is just going to be a Thunderbolt into Dragonite, our Grog. Okay, it is lefties. I just missed it. Okay. Thunderbolt. I think here, Leech Seed still disabled for one more turn. I'm down to just go for a Horn Leech to get some HP recovery. God, being down this stage of accuracy is really annoying. Although that being said, do I really need to care? Can I just, like, do I just stuff damage at this point? Am I overthinking this? Like... Yeah, let's just send it. Let's just send it. Dragon Pulse comes out again. We have not revealed any of our anti-Basculegion tech on Dragonite. We've only revealed Pulse and Tailwind, which are pretty standard. Another Poltergeist is going to come out. We've revealed 3 of the 4 moves, and that's just going to be the KO. So, 3 KOs for Tree, and 1 for D-Knight. No Pokemon KO'd. I would say that is a very, very, very good game 1 for us. But, admittedly, a lot of that was getting the call right against that turn 1 from the Basculegion. I don't know that we get that KO as easily in game number 2. Why is my game freezing? Okay. Okay. My game froze, so I guess I'm just gonna kill champions and go back in. This is what happens when you let Grok code your game for you. Okay, there we go. That's better. Right team, right battle music. I'm ready to rumble. Okay. So we did not see Scizor, we did not see Mega Pidgeot, we did not really give Pidgeot much of a reason. I mean, Trevenant definitely actually, I think, gave Pidgeot a reason to come to this matchup. Trevenant absolutely kind of just became a problem for my opponent. How do we counter that problem is the question. We know there's Quash on the Sableye as well, which is certainly a problem for us. But if you're but if you're going with the Sableye, is Pidgeot really the play? Or if you're going with Pidgeot, rather, is Sableye the play? Do you lead Sableye next to the Pidgeot? That's a really good question. He also knows I'm Focus Sash on Arcanine, so I have to keep that in mind. We didn't even end up revealing Samu in we didn't even reveal Samu in game number 1. I'm down to go with this adaptation. I think this can work. I think this can work. We're gonna find out. Alright. It's Basculegion Pidgeot. Okay, so we know that Bascu is Sash Flip Turn or Scarf Flip Turn. Okay, so I have a choice to make here because I think I can take a KO into either slot. Actually, I'm virtually certain I can take a KO in either slot. Knockoff would probably help me pick up the Basculegion, or I could pounce Rock Slide into the Pidgeot. But if I can KO Basculegion on turn 1... Okay, so it is going to be, obviously, Mega Evolve. Pidgeotite. Okay, Scanlan goes first. Scanlan's hand, baby! Does not even come close to picking up the fish. Okay. We remove Choice Scarf. And it's Heat Wave reveal from the Pidgeot. Very ineffective against effects, but it does break our Sash. But Vexalia goes first! Rock Slide will pick up Basculegion! Vex and Scanlan, the most underrated Critical Role duo, apparently. Scanlan's hand, baby! Alright, Belly Bolt gaming time, ladies and gentlemen. We know this thing does have leftovers. I have a choice to make here because I can land a knockoff into Pidgeot here, potentially. I do have to remember that there is the threat of Muddy Water in the back. This is unfortunate. So if I'm my opponent here, I think I'm trying to clear both Pokemon potentially with Belly Bolt. That being said, though, I think I can pretty safely go into Dragonite. And I'm actually, you know what, I'm just going to rip Rock Slide. If he protects the Pidgeot, he protects the Pidgeot. So... Pidgeot does protect, okay. Rocks Fall. So we're hoping for a flinch here. I mean, that's still really good damage. We don't love proccing Electromorphosis, but... And it is not going to be a flinch. It's going to be Muddy Water, so we lose Vex. Hashtag she did her job? I mean... Like, I'm certainly not going to complain about the board state that we found ourselves in, but we're not out of the woods yet. By any means, my opponent does still have a 4th Pokemon in the back. So I can go back into Scanlan, I pressure Pidgeot with a pretty good amount of damage. Alternatively, I can go into Samu, who really does not want to see this Belly Bolt. If I'm my opponent, I brought Scizor this game, which really makes me feel like I may need Heracross in the endgame. So I'm okay with revealing Samurott here. The question is what is my opponent going to go for? Is he going to go for a Tailwind, or is he going to go for an attack? Tailwind would make the most sense, I would think. I'm going to Tailwind Detect. My worst case scenario here, I think, is that he Tailwinds. And I take a lot of damage on... Like, I take a lot of damage into Dragonite here. But we're so bulky, we should be okay, I think. Yeah, certainly by no means over. We don't have Trevenant to deal with this Belly Bolt, which I think is a mistake in hindsight. I mean, we may have over-indexed on Basculegion this game. That's what I'm worried about right now. Okay, Belly Bolt protects. Okay. So we know a third move here. Okay, and we do just match Tailwinds. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so Grog sets Tailwind up. Pidgeot sets Tailwind up. I don't really think I have to worry about Pidgeot too much here. The more I think about it, like, Hurricane into Samurott is probably, like, my worst-case scenario here. But since we have Scarf Heracross in the back, we can still outspeed. He also does have to respect the pressure of Sucker Punch, so I could see that slot protecting. I'm going to double Belly Bolt. Okay, it is a protect out of the Pidgeot. Wind. Okay, so Dragon Pulse. We saw this do really good damage in Game 1, down to 37%. This is Black Glasses, Sharpness Boosted Night Slash. Vaxildan is going to Vaxil get his first KO of the season. Red Rider. Okay, it is Scizor in the back. Okay, so Scizor comes to Game 2, Pidgeot comes to Game 2, Belly Bolt and Bascu came to Games 1 and 2. Okay. He doesn't know. He doesn't know that we have Heat Wave available on Dragonite. So I think here what we can do is Sucker Punch Pidgeot and Heat Wave into Scizor. Okay. Sucker Punch comes out. Vax is going to claim his second KO of the match. Dragonite Heat Wave comes out, and that's going to be a one-hit knockout into the Scizor. Okay, we navigated the Game 2 with a little less poise than Game 1, but we navigated it all the same. Oh, man. Whew. Well, yeah. GG's to Matt. Well played. I think I definitely got lucky in the fact that my tech moves were successful. Scarf Heracross really putting in a lot of work there in game number 2. I'm really glad that Heracross got to come. Unfortunately, no KOs, but also didn't faint. Hisuian Arcanine is the only fainted Pokemon of the entire set. So, pretty good one. Trevenant absolutely popping off in Game 1 as well. I think really helped to influence that matchup. But obviously, I mean, I think our prep was solid. Heat Wave, obviously, we didn't end up needing the Sunny Day on Dragonite. That may have been yeah. Yeah, like, we may have, like, slightly over-indexed on, some aspects of that gameplay, but overall, I would say I think that went, pretty well for us. I mean, yeah, like I said, like, I was worried about Belly Bolt, I was worried about Pidgeot, and I was worried about Basculegion. Yeah, I think it went about as well as I could have asked for. The mid-game there in Game 2 did get dicey, but GG's to Matt. best of luck to him in the future weeks. And yeah, I will be talking to you guys later. See ya.